Okay, so we are going to look at our homework for tonight. I know it's been a while since we've gotten our homework, but we're back on track. Our field trips are over for a while, and we are looking at rounding decimals. We did a lot of practice in class today. You know what I'm expecting as far as showing your answer. So let's look at the first problem. Number 1 says, what is 31 7/75 rounded to the nearest tenth? So we're looking at the tenth. So I'm going to rewrite the number. 31 7/75. I'm rounding to the nearest tenth. Let's say our chant. Find your place. Look next door. 5 or greater. Add one more. All numbers in front stay the same. That 7 becomes an 8. All numbers behind, 0 is your name. So we round it up to 31 8/10 or 80/100. Let's look at number 2. What is 1 49/100 rounded to the nearest tenth? We're looking for tenths again. Remember, tenths are one place after the decimal. Find your place. Look next door. 5 or greater. Yep, let's raise the score. All numbers in front stay the same. All numbers behind, that 4 becomes a 5. 0 is your name. So when we round it to the nearest tenth, we get 1 5/10 or 1 50/100. Let's look at number 3. What is 20 6/100 rounded to the nearest tenth? Still rounding to the tenths. Find your place. Look next door. 5 or greater. Yep. Add one more. All numbers in front stay the same. That 0 becomes a 1. All numbers behind, 0 is your name. So when we round it up, we round it to 20 1/10 or 10/100. Let's look at number 4. 98 44,000 rounded to the nearest hundredth. Again, that's 2 places after the decimal. Find your place. Look next door. 5 or greater? Nope, so I'm not going to add one more. All numbers in front stay the same. That 4 stays a 4. All numbers behind, 0 is your name. So when we round it to the nearest hundredth, we get 98 400 or 40,000. Let's look at number 5. What is 5 197,000 rounded to the nearest tenth? We're going back to tenths. That's one place after the decimal. Find your place. Look next door. 5 or greater? Yep, so let's raise the score. All numbers in front stay the same. That 1 becomes a 2. All numbers behind, 0 is your name. So when we round it to the nearest tenth, we get 5 2/10 or 5 200,000. Look at number 6. What is 76 975,000 rounded to the nearest hundredth? That's 2 places after the decimal. So we're going to find our place. Look next door. 5 or greater. Yep, let's add one more. All numbers in front stay the same. That 7 becomes an 8. All numbers behind, 0 is your name. So when we round it to the nearest hundredth, we get 76 98/100 or 980,000. 2 more left, and these are multiple choice, so a little bit easier because our answer is right there on the page. Let's look at number 7. If you were rounding 36 842,000 to the nearest tenth, which digit would you use to round the decimal? Doesn't say which digit do you round, which would you use to round. So I'm going to write it down here so I can do all of my chanting. Okay, so we're going to find our place and look next door. So that 4 is going to tell me, do I round it up or do I keep it the same? And I know that it's a 4, so I'm going to keep it the same. But the 4 is what tells me, so the answer is B. Okay, let's look at number 8. If you rounded 587,000 to the nearest hundredth, what digit would be in the hundredths place? Would be, meaning after I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and solve the problem. Find your place, 2 places after the decimal. Look next door, 5 or greater. Add one more. All numbers in front stay the same. 8 becomes a 9. And all digits behind, 0 is your name. So that 8 is now a 9. So what would the digit in the hundredths place be? It would be 9 after I round it. So the answer is A. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your homework for today. The answers, I hope it was pretty easy. You guys are doing great in class. If you have questions, come talk to me. I'm here for you guys, okay? If you watched this video and you checked your work, here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see with a pen of some kind that's not the same color as your pencil. I'd like to see you go through, and if you got it right, do it just like Ella does every time she turns in her homework. I love it. She puts a nice big fat check mark there. If she got it wrong for some reason, she's got that X and she goes back through and she writes in the correct answer. So do that for me. That lets me know that you watched this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. We got STEM Lab, so get ready.